This is the DEFCON Warning System. Alert status for 1530 UTC, condition green DEFCON 5. There are currently no imminent nuclear threats at this time. Russia is on the move again in Ukraine. Over the past week, Moscow has intensified military activity along the Eastern Front, particularly in Donbass. Analysts believe this escalation stems from what the Kremlin sees as weak or delayed responses from the United States, particularly regarding long-range weapon support. President Trump, under pressure from European allies, has approved the transfer of Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine. However, this aid package, funded in part by European reimbursements, comes only after sustained Russian strikes across Ukrainian territory. For Russia, the message is clear: the West's hesitation opens space for aggression. While the United States insists it remains committed to Ukraine's defense, Russian forces have begun probing for vulnerabilities, using drones, missile barrages, and cyber attacks to test NATO's limits without triggering direct retaliation. NATO's posture remains reactive, and that, in Russia's eyes, is a sign of weakness and vulnerability. In a landmark development this week, the United Kingdom and France announced the formal coordination of their nuclear deterrents. Known as the Northwood Declaration, the agreement stops short of combining arsenals, but it brings strategic alignment to Europe's two nuclear powers for the first time in history. Under the new pact, both nations will retain full independent control of their nuclear weapons. However, they will now operate under a shared planning framework. This includes joint oversight, coordinated submarine patrols, and synchronized nuclear doctrine in response to what they call extreme threats to Europe. This move significantly strengthens Europe's ability to deter aggression, even in a scenario where the United States is slow or unwilling to respond. President Macron and Prime Minister Starmer have both emphasized that this is not just about readiness, it's about credibility. Together, France and the UK are signaling to adversaries and to allies that Europe's nuclear umbrella is no longer solely dependent on Washington. Iran is once again expressing willingness to return to the negotiating table, but with major strings attached. This week, Iranian officials announced that Tehran would resume nuclear talks with the United States if and only if it receives a firm guarantee that there will be no further attacks on Iranian soil. Notably, Iran did not offer any commitment to curtail attacks by its regional proxies, including Hezbollah and the Houthis, nor did it express any willingness to limit uranium enrichment, which it insists must continue on Iranian territory. This comes after a dramatic month of military escalation, including targeted strikes by Israel and the United States against key nuclear and military facilities in Iran. In response, Iran expelled international nuclear inspectors and suspended cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. Now Tehran is demanding diplomatic security without offering any in return. Washington, meanwhile, has yet to issue a formal reply. This proposal amounts to a one-sided offer: diplomacy on Iran's terms, while the regional threat environment remains unchanged. In the Indo-Pacific, China and Russia conducted joint naval drills in the Sea of Japan this week, underscoring a growing military partnership aimed at counterbalancing U.S. and allied presence in the region. Back in the Middle East, intelligence sources continue to monitor proxy movements from Iran-backed militias across Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq, raising the risk of a larger confrontation with Israel. Meanwhile, NATO continues quiet internal discussions on contingency responses in case the U.S. posture becomes increasingly unpredictable. Each of these developments may seem isolated, but together they point to an accelerating trend: global actors testing the West's unity, its resolve, and its ability to deter escalation on multiple fronts. The DEFCON Warning System is a private intelligence organization which has monitored and assessed nuclear threats by national entities since 1984. It is not affiliated with any government agency and does not represent the alert status of any military branch. The public should make their own evaluations and not rely on the DEFCON Warning System for any strategic planning. Citizens are always urged to learn what steps to take in the event of a nuclear attack. In such an event, the DEFCON Warning System will provide radiation readings for areas that are reported to it. Your readings may vary. Official news sources will have radiation data specific to your region. For immediate updates, visit www.defconwarningsystem.com. You can also find breaking news and important information on the DEFCON Warning System Community Forum and our Twitter feed, DEFCON WS Alerts. This concludes this report of the DEFCON Warning System.